Hey folks, I'm Gary and Carl at Mosses Creek Outdoors. I'm glad you can be watching here on this episode. I've got a whole table full of different types of knives laid out here. This is just another piece of my collection to go along, and I'm going to show you the largest variety of knives I've showed you so far. But I've got anything from fixed blade knives and sheaths to sharpening stones, folding pocket saws, neck knives, three-bladed Stockman knives, razor knives, special edition celebration knives, and I don't know how many I've got here. I ain't counted exactly. I've got a 6-foot table right here, plumb full of knives. So I'm gonna flip the camera around, and I'm gonna go over each and every one of these up through here, and I'm gonna show you about them. Alright, this is all the knives that I'm going to talk about and go over here. So like I said, I got these fixed blade knives over here. A lot of the three-bladed Stockmans, neck knives, the special edition knives, the folding saws, the razor knives. I'm going to start on kind of on this end and kind of start moving across and zigzag here as I talk about them. First thing I'm going to talk about is this is a really nice big sharpening stone that I got in yesterday. It is 6,000 or 1,000 on the yellow side and 6,000 on the white side. The 1,000 yellow is designed for sharpening the knife. The 6,000 on the white side is designed for honing the knife. But that's a really nice stone. This is another sharpening tool that I got in yesterday. Folds out like that. You can carry it in your pocket. It's a diamond sharpener. It's a 400 and a 600. Folds up like that. It's really handy. If you don't have a ceramic rod to sharpen your knives on, you're missing out. You definitely need to get you a ceramic rod. First knife I'm gonna hit on here. This is a fixed blade knife that I got in yesterday. This is a KCC Edge with a Kydex sheath. Snaps in and out. This is seems to be a really heavy knife. It's full tang all the way to the butt end up here, really stiff, really solid, and snaps in really nice. But it's designed to go hook inside your pants and be really comfortable there. Multi-tools. I usually always try to keep a multi-tool on me when it comes to the pliers and having the knife and all the other different stuff. You never know what you're going to work on out there. But these, both pairs here are Gerbers, and I really like these. I've had those for 2 or 3 years, both just alike. One's a stainless color, one's black. Here I got 2 knives just alike, green and gray, Camillus. This is a cheaper end knife, but they have a really nice edge, seems like. And I've used those for skinning a couple of times. They work really good. This knife here belongs to a friend of mine. I think he told me this was his father's knife. This is the Schrade USA 152 old timer. Last time I talked to him, he said that knife had skinned no telling how many deer and hogs and I don't know what else. Next to it here is the Schrade Pro Hunter Camo Edition. I've had this knife for several years. It's just like that old timer Schrade 152 there, but it's just a little different color with the black blade. Pocket saws. I am literally a pocket saw fanatic. I keep pocket saws with me all the time in the woods. I never know what I'm gonna run across and need to cut. This is a Gerber folding saw. It's also included with a fine tooth blade that you can swap out and put on here. But it's a good saw. I've got 2 or 3 boxes plumb full of folding saws. Like I say, I'm a pocket saw fanatic, so I've got probably 40, 50 of them. But this pocket saw right here, this is my top pick over all of the pocket saws. This is the top one. This is my favorite. The Corona Razor Tooth. This thing cuts so drastically you could literally cut firewood with it. It's amazing what it will cut. It's about 16 inches long when it's open, but it's a heck of a saw. If you ain't never tried this saw, you definitely need to. It's about $20 at Lowe's. Neck knives. 3 of these here are CRKTs. This is the CRKT Spew. Extremely sharp with a Kydex sheath. Snaps into it there. You put paracord or leather or whatever on it for wearing around the neck. This is a CRKT. This is one of the minimalist models. I like these little knives. I carry these a good bit. I can't remember what the name of this one is, but there's a different name for each style blade. This one's also a CRKT. Really small, as you can see. You can just barely get 3 fingers on it. Just really, really small. Really handy for a lot of things. This one in the middle here, it's really similar to it, and this is the first neck knife I had. This is of course, a cheaper version. It's a M-Tech USA, and it's stainless. I like that little knife. It works really well too. It snaps in the case really well. You don't have to worry about it coming out. Next here, I'm going to jump to these Imperial 3-bladed Stockmans. I got 12 of them here. I've got 9 with this kind of like a gray crush colored handle. Every one of these knives are brand new, still in the box. They've never been used. Really, really pretty little knives. I won't pick up all 9 of these because every one of them is just alike. They're identical. Now here on this side, I've got 4 right here that's got different color handles on them. That's kind of a brown crush looking color. Really really pretty. It's just a beautiful little knife. Brand new, still in the box. Here's another one. This is a little different color. Each one's unique, got different markings and different colors. And I've got one like this. This is a really small little knife to be a 3-blade. Really small. It's probably half what the others are size-wise. Next, I'm gonna jump right over here to the razor knives. This is a Sheffield. I carry this knife a good bit. I like it. This is a Cobalt razor knife. I've had that knife a good while. This is my favorite editions of the Sheffield knives. Both just alike, only difference is the color. With this specific Sheffield model, there's no wiggle, hardly whatsoever, in this blade up here. It's stiff. It's solid. It's based on how the knife is designed up here, how the blade locks in. Now, that's my favorite model of all. This knife here is the Havalon. This knife was gave to me at Christmas by a friend of mine. Extremely sharp. These blades just snap on and off sideways. And the new blades come in these packs. Looks kind of like a Band-Aid. And you just, you dull this one, you just slip this new one out of this pack and snap it back on. But that's the Havalon razor knife. Comes with this pouch and got the blades in there. Okay, I'm gonna jump back over here to this side for just a second. I'm jumping to some more of my higher end knives here to say. This knife was gave to me by a friend named Daniel Wilkins. This is a Case XX 216-5. I've never seen one exactly like this. I've seen some pictures of some just like it or really similar to it online. This knife's been around a while by someone and got a little bit of wear on it. And I've worked the blade and I've got it probably sharp enough to shave, but it was really loose in the sheath, and I shimmed the sheath and got it where it's really snug going in. But an interesting knife. It'd be a good knife to use for a lot of different things. But I want to thank Daniel for the Case XX 216-5. I really like that knife. Alright, I'm going to jump back over here. Hit right here. Look at these knives. You can see how small these knives are. Unreal, just little miniature knives. My grandfather bought those years ago, and I was with him when he got them. I think he paid maybe, I don't know, seemed like $10 a piece or something like that. He wanted them just to have them. I don't know what this least one is. This little red one is a Rough Rider. But the blades is tight on them. They feel like they're well made. Alright, I'm going to jump right here. This is an interesting little knife. This is name brand is Sarge. This is a wood carving knife. I especially ordered these out of a wood carving catalog back years ago. Look how short the blades are. They're made for carving like that, carving different stuff in wood. And I ordered 3 of them. I got these other 2 right here. There's another brand new one just like it in each one of those boxes. I don't know what this knife is. It says KKC on the base of the blade. It's a sturdy knife and a pretty knife. Looks like a piece of real bone on it there. This knife was my grandfather's. It's a XX Case. He he trapped a lot. And he carried this knife and used it so much, you can see how much he wore the blade down. And he wore the case, the name case, all off of the plate there. He carried it in his pocket so much. Ain't no telling how many coons and beavers and different stuff like that he skinned out with that knife. But I've had that knife a long time. Here's two of the little 3-blade Stockman old timers. Got 2 of them just alike. I've had those for a long time. This next one here, this is a coal miner Kissing Crane. It's a tight, well-made little knife as well. Solid black handle. Here's an old timer 120T Schrade. Still in the box. Just a little small one-bladed knife. The next right here, brand new in the box, here's a Black Angus Kissing Crane. That's a nice knife. Brand new. I don't believe it's ever been used. Alright, I'm going to jump on over here now. This is an interesting knife. I've had this knife for a long time. Schrade Cutlery Corporation. This is a special edition knife. It says handmade. And it's called a tobacco knife. You can see it's got some unique shapes to the blades. It's like the blades, when it opens up, the blades don't go all the way back. You can see when I open this blade, that's as far back as that blade goes. It stays cocked inwards. So I don't know if that's specially made like for cutting tobacco in the plug or what, but the little plate right there, the little plate on the side of it says tobacco, and it looks like a tobacco leaf there. I've had this knife out of the box and carried it just a little bit years ago, and I like using it based on the shape of the blade. I really like the shape of the blades on it. And next, right here, this is a Schrade also. This is kind of I guess a special edition knife. Got a bear there on the blade. It's a large knife. It reminds me of the old timer folding hunter knife. It looks almost just like it. The blade's a little bit fatter from top to bottom up here. But that's a pretty knife. Got a good snap down to it. I like a knife when it snaps down due to a good strong back spring there. Now right here, this is 2 50th anniversary old timers. It says 1958 to 2008. 2 3-bladed Stockmans, just alike. These are still new. They've never been out and used. Pretty knives. Gray handles. Alright. I'm gonna jump to this section right here. Now this is the biggest selection of 3-blade Stockmans right here that I've got. But first I'm gonna jump to this, and this is a case, come in a leather pouch here. Here's the box that come in. W.R. Case and Sons Cutlery. This is a single blade case. It reminds me of the 110 Buck, how it's made. This was my grandfather's service award for 25 years service working in parks and conservation here in Tennessee. As you can see on this side, it's got 25 years and got the Tennessee State Seal engraved on it right there. But he got a lot of service awards over the years, and he got this knife on 25 years. He ended up putting in right at 35. I've also got a belt buckle and a few other things that he got for service awards. Right here, this knife. I've had this knife a long time. It looks just like the Buck 110, but it's a coyote. Got a little coyote emblem there on it. It says coyote on the blade up here. Really, really sharp. Holds the edge really well. I carried this knife a good bit when I was growing up. Like I say, it looks and feels just like the Buck 110. But that's a good knife and feels like it's got some good metal in it. Here's a Rough Rider. Yellow handle Rough Rider. 3-blade Stockman. Pretty nice. Some nice, thick, heavy made blades there. Really wide. Looks like it'd be a durable knife. It's really tight. Got good springs in it. But Rough Rider. This is a Kershaw. Got rubber grips. I also carried this knife growing up as well. I liked it too. Alright, here's some knives right here. Kind of in Frontier, Colonial, Ranger category. This is a 3-blade Stockman Frontier. And here's another one. Just like it. Got the white handles. This is a style knife I carry all the time. I keep a knife like this in my pocket at all times. 3-blade Stockmans are my favorites. This is a Ranger knife here. 3-blade Stockman Ranger. I carried this knife some. And the reason I carried it, the little plate that had the name on it there's gone out of it. And that's why I carried this one. And there's a couple of old Rangers that my granddaddy had. They're probably the 2 roughest ones that I got. That one's got a blade broke off. This is the Ranger that I carry every day. 3-blade Stockman. I like Ranger knives. My granddaddy, he carried Ranger knives forever. We could be at a flea market or something. If he seen a knife laying on anybody's table, you know, whatever it might be, it didn't have to be a Ranger. If he just seen a knife, he would ask them if they had any Ranger knives. He loved Rangers. And ain't no telling how many he had over the year. And when he was living, that Ranger with the yellow handles right there, that was the last Ranger knife that he carried. That was his knife. I just left it as it was. I didn't ever resharpen it or anything. I just cleaned it and, you know, oiled it up. That's the last one he carried. And really, that's probably my favorite of all. I've always liked the ones with the yellow handles. Colonial was the actual company that built these knives and labeled them as Ranger. And I'll show you about that here in just a second. Right here, here's 4 other knives here. Here's a little, kind of a little multi knife by Gerber. It's got 2 or 3 different screwdrivers and the knife on it. I've had that knife for several years. It's a handy little knife, but kind of got a rubber type grip on it there. I believe this is a older style Imperial. This is a 3-blade Stockman. I've had that knife for a long time. And it said, I just barely can see on the base of that largest blade there, it says Imperial. Here's one of the old Barlow knives. A lot of folks are familiar with those. It says Pakistan there, but I'm not a big fan of Pakistan knives, but I've just seen these Barlows around before. And this is a little small 2-blade USA buck knife. It says Buck 709 USA on the blade there. Alright, here's a Ranger. What I call the little rounded end Ranger. It's smaller. It's got 3 blades. Just smaller built all over. Now here's another one here. This is a Ranger. Again, 3-blade Stockman with the tan handles. Now I've got 2 Colonials here with black handles. They got the same blades as these other knives here, but they're Colonials. Again, Colonial was the actual company that built these knives and labeled them as Ranger. Now here's two Rangers with the black handles. And I'll put these together right here. You can see there's 2 Rangers and there's 2 Colonials. You can see it's the same knife, and just Colonial and Ranger. Colonial made these Rangers. Right here, this is the last Ranger right here. 3-blade Stockman. But this is kind of a special edition. This is the Scrimshaw edition with the deer on there and the little scene. That's kind of a rare Ranger, as I understand, as I researched. You absolutely don't see the Scrimshaw editions all the time, but that's a pretty knife. I got this last knife right here that I'm going to show. This knife was custom made by a friend of mine. His name is Rodney Poindexter. Pretty knife. He gave this knife to me as a gift. He made the blade out of a saw. I think it was from a sawmill cutoff saw blade, and he put the antler on the handle there and put the little brass guard on it. Left the base on the end of the grip up there. But a really beautiful knife. He handmade the sheath as well. So I thanked him for such a gift, and I told him, I said, your work is too valuable, just to give it away. He said, no. He said, that's what I want to do. So if you're interested in getting a custom knife such as this made, especially as a gift for someone, just contact me and I'll get in touch with him, and I'll get him to build you one. I'm not sure now what he charges to build a knife like this, but a very beautiful knife, extremely sharp, and something to hang on to for a lifetime. It's been a nice New Year's Day here for the first day of 2023, and Until next time, I'm Garen Carlin, Mosses Creek Outdoors, and I'll see you.